You are now listening to Resolve Dispute with your host Black Thor and Sweet Pea. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What's going on, mama?
Hey, baby, what's up with you?
You know, tired.
Tired? Tired? Tell me about this whole situation that got you tired. I mean, you got your 21 days over with, right?
21 days are over with.
Mm-hmm.
Finals are done.
Mm-hmm.
Start boot camp.
Okay.
So for the for skills for policing, start boot camp for that.
Okay,
Um,
okay.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
I bet.
Um,
This is why we all clean shaven and looking handsome and whatnot. That's what we got going on here.
my coworkers are giving me a hard time. They told me I'm not allowed to drink bourbon out of a Glencairn anymore. I got to drink it out of a sippy cup because that's how young I
Yeah.
look.
Your little baby face. Got that little baby face going on.
um,
I love it. I love
it. Got my results back for the finals. Passed all my finals for every last class.
Golf clap, golf clap. Woo!
I know, right? So it did. Last night was just a hell of a day at work. It was just a hell of a day. Like
sometimes that happens.
It was pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. So
yeah. I'm with you. Sometimes that happens. I mean, I'm sitting here rethinking my whole situation myself. It's been a stressful 2 weeks for me. This is the third week going into it. I'm like, is it time for me to quit? Hey, this beginning to be a little too much for a sister. I mean, I could take a busy week, but not busy 3 weeks and shit coming left and right. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to go and take a vacation day.
You might have to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I need to. A weekend ain't getting it for me no more. I need a whole vacation day. And like you, I finished my 21 days and 12 pounds down. So I averaged 4 pounds a week during that time, even with my sciatic nerve acting crazy. And once again, Dr. Zach to the rescue. He didn't pop that sucker right into place.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
I know. He made me feel real good the last time I went. I'm like, oh, I could do the Watusi. Now I'm showing you how old I am. The Watusi is my mama's dance when she was growing up, but I know it.
Oh man. So I'm over here. The bourbon of the night is Old
nice.
Forester. Prohibition
Nice.
era.
Nice.
Nice little pour. I'm only gonna have a little bit. Just a little bit, not a lot.
Just a little sippy sip.
Yeah.
I'm just sipping a little bit too.
Yeah.
Mine is red wine by Yellowtail. It's jumping Jack Red. I am a red wine drinker, so I like a little bitter with my wine, but not too much. And
Yeah.
this one is just the right note. It hits it perfectly. So I'm like, oh, this is residual from, my lasagna that I had last night. And,
How was
I
that?
tried to drink. Ooh. Mm. Got to be more careful. Gotta be more careful with it. I made a small 8x8 pan because that means I could just cut it into 4 and I have 4 servings of it, and then I could just, stretch it out for 4 days. I could eat 2 this week, I could eat 2 next week, or if I just wanted to just do all 4 this week, at least it was a individual serving. But I tell you, I made it with 5 cheeses and 3 meats. And so it is so rich and delicious. I was like, I could eat the whole damn pan,
You
but I
know,
didn't. but I
You
didn't.
know,
I didn't.
you know, people be fighting over your lasagna.
I know. I know. And this is the first time that I ever really made it for myself. Usually I'm making it for others and then I just have some after I make it for them. So I played around with my ingredients and I did sweet Italian sausage with some hot Polish sausage and some ground beef. And
Mm,
oh my God. Mm, mm. Those three together is nice. It's nice.
okay. It sounds like it was good because you, like you
It's
said, you
nice.
always cooking for other people. You never really cooked it for yourself. So
Right.
shout outs to that.
Right.
Shout outs to you for
Yeah.
doing it for you. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Exactly. And the five cheeses was mozzarella, um, sharp cheddar, Asiago, Parmesan, and romaine cheese. And I'm like, oh my God.
It's just funny to me because going back to the 21-day challenge, when we
Mhm.
first started doing this, we looked at totally different in the face than they look like you look right now.
You can see the difference. You can see that pounds are down, and I love it. I love it. Um, I needed that because, I struggled for, the past 6 months with all the drama that I had going on, and I did gain those 10 pounds. And so I was feeling like, oh my God, how could I gain these 10 pounds? Knock those suckers off real fast, less than a month. So I'm here for it. So now I need to lose another 18. So I got another 18 going.
Mm,
Um, and I'm done. I would have reached my goal weight, and I know that for me, it's going to hit different because of me being older.
right.
So, and I love that. I love the way that the weight is hitting me right now. It's actually doing exactly what I wanted to do. So I'm like, come on now. Old women get down. 55. Woo!
I feel that. I feel that 100%. So, what is the topic of today, Mama? I'm gonna let you introduce it this time.
Oh, baby, you're gonna be mad at me. You're gonna be mad at me because I did not write it down. The topic of today is high value man, right? And how to become a high value man, correct? No.
No, hey, no, that's it. That's it. That's it.
Okay.
That's it.
But and
It,
you
it,
wanted me to give the 8.
you ain't got that up. Did you?
And what I didn't do, because we was trying to rush and get this done. Oh my God, I feel so bad. I forgot to bring my computer in here
Ah,
with those on there.
ah.
So I'm gonna have to ask you to go ahead and get that.
let me
I
let,
apologize.
let me see if I can pull it up real
I have my
quick.
laptop in here from work, so I could possibly pull it up there.
I got it.
But my personal laptop is better because I can get to it and do what I do. It's not a problem. So while Black Thor is doing that because, his mom is
Here you
forgetful
go.
and old.
Go ahead. So do you want to? So all right. So we're just gonna do the definitions of high value, right?
Well,
So
I could do that. I got
yeah.
that. All right.
So So do you want to just start out with our good old friend Kevin Samuels version of a high value man, or
Absolutely, because I appreciate his input on this situation. So let's do that. Let's go there.
so do you have his stuff? Yeah? No?
Absolutely not. Why did you think? Why did you think I was going to be prepared? I just told you I was unprepared.
Oh my God, mama.
The first time in history you can say my mother was not prepared. She
you
left
know,
me hanging.
I'm just doing this just to make you just to laugh. Because I
I know.
already had everything. I got everything.
All right. Wait till I see you. You know I'm coming.
Yes, I do. We have a whole date going on between me and her coming
Absolutely.
up soon. And I don't know. I don't want to film it because it's been a minute since we hung out. But then again, I'm like, maybe I'll give you guys a little clips or
Just a
whatever.
little, maybe a little taste of how we act when we're actually in the same freaking state, side by
Exactly.
side.
We might hit up Wild Bills. Hey,
Woo!
hey, hey.
You know how I do. You know how I do. I'll go shake something in a minute. Yeah.
Oh Lord! All right, pull up these clips.
What happened the last time? What happened the last time? But come on.
All right, here go Kevin Samuels. What's the high value man is?
Man, glad you asked. Let's define it.
Oh.
I know the best version. Welcome back. For those of you who don't know, my name is Kevin Samuels. I'm a professional men's and corporate image consultant. My job is to make sure my clients look good, smell great, and are the best version of themselves each and every day. But who are we kidding? The reason you're here right now is because the term high value man seems to be everywhere. Full disclosure, I didn't create the term, guys. High value man has been with us for a long time. I have just put my own unique spin on it and kind of popularized it, and it has kind of gone viral. But here's the thing. So many people are talking about high value this, high value that. And many times they're actually talking about me and saying as though, well, Kevin said this or Kevin said that. And many people are getting it 100% wrong. So in an attempt to make sense of all this, I want to give you guys the simple 6 basic principles that I define as being high value. Now, again, you don't have to agree with what I'm saying, but this is what I'm talking about when I'm saying a high value man. So your mileage may vary, your opinion is your opinion, but when I'm talking about it, this is what I'm talking about. So let's get it started. First of all, let's go over some basic definitions. High, great, greater than normal in quantity, size, or intensity. Value, the regard of something held to deserve the importance, worth, or usefulness of something. And man, an adult human male. So when you put all that together, what do you have? An adult human male that's greater than normal importance or usefulness to what? The group. Basic economic principle states that the value of something is what a market is willing to pay for it. The value is determined by what? The market. And when we're talking about individuals, the market is other people, men or women. So a high value man is completely determined by the market. Case in point, you can have a vehicle, a home, anything in your possession. You can hold it dear. It could be supremely important to you. But when you put it on the market decides. And there's an upper limit and a lower limit. It doesn't really matter if you think the low is too low or the high is not high enough. That's what the market is willing to pay for it, and that is its overall value. That has been with us forever. So when we start talking about that, we're dealing with people. It really throws people off because it seems so cold, so calculated. But like it or not, that's the way the world is. So let's get into this whole high value man thing. Number one, in order to be a high value man, it starts with money. Again, like it or not, I didn't put the 6-figure thing out there. It's been with us since the mid 80s, and like it or not, that's where this whole thing starts. You can't be high value and homeless, so you have to make a certain amount of money, and the line is roughly at $10,000 a month adjusted for Atlanta dollars. If you live in San Francisco, LA, New York City, where the cost of living is higher than 100%, you need to adjust it. So $10,000 a month gets the starting point off for high value. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just giving you what the world gave me. Number two, that money needs to be made over a length of time, i.e. performance. And that's roughly about 5 years. And about the 3-year mark, you're kind of starting to scratch the surface. Why does it need to be 5 years? Well, because guys, it's a matter of consistency and stability. Look in the NFL, the NBA, anybody can have a great season, but having a great season does not automatically mean you're going to the Hall of Fame. They want to see consistent numbers over a period of time. You know how this works, just like I do in business. You can't be a one-hit wonder or have up here and down there. Consistency, performance over a length of time. That's why that 5-year mark is so important. Like I said, around 3 years, you're starting to scratch the surface, but at 5 years, people can pretty much count on you to say, this person understands and knows how to get it done. Number 3 is group acceptance. Like it or not, guys, High Value Man is like a fraternity. It's like a club, a secret society. And high value men know other high value men. They welcome him into the group. They know what it takes to be there. They know what it takes to get in there. And high value men, group acceptance is supremely important. Guys, secret societies, fraternities, organizations have always been with us. And you know how this just works in just general interaction. Guys that just make their own secret society or club, but it doesn't matter as much as somebody says that group is important. Guys, this is about separation. High value men tend to huddle around other high value men for reasons I'm going to go into a little bit later. But group acceptance is another critical component of being a high value man. Why is group acceptance so important?
So far, that's halfway. Because it's six steps into it. That's halfway into it. That's what a high value man is. So far, how do you feel where Kevin Samuel was going?
So I like the ideal of where he's going, right? Because I want to bring some contrast to some of the things that he said. So, of course, the definition of high is rising or extending upward. And low, the definition of low is lacking spirit, weak, cheap, or depleted. Value means relative worth or importance, desirable. Non-value is going to be non-relative worth, non-important, non-desirable. A man is going to be, I'm not going to say suppose because it's true, a man is an adult human, and a boy is a male from birth to adulthood. So when we're talking about a high value man, let's be sure that we're clarifying the terms like Kevin tried to, but let's make sure the audience is understanding as well. You cannot be a high value man when you are still behaving as if you are a child.
All right, let's get back into Kevin Samuel's take on a high value man.
Okay.
Important because the next part, a network. You have to have a network of other high value men and others. This is another stumbling block for a lot of guys, for a lot of people, because they may have the money, even the length of time. They may look like they fit the group, but if they don't even have any other high value contacts or a network, a group of others, that person's going to be looked at with a side eye. Think of it like this. If you're sitting at the table with 10 high value men, and each of these 10 men has 50 contacts, that's 500 contacts, and you sit at the table and you have twice as much money as any other man on there, but you have 0 contacts. What can you effectively get done other than throw money at it? These other men can make phone calls, exert influence, move things to get things done, and you can only do what? Offer money and potentially feed off that network of contact. One thing high value men know and understand, that time is what's important, and building a network that actually works for you is extremely important. In some areas, it's called a book of business. A book of business can make you successful here, here, and here. Your contacts, your network is your net worth. You've heard this before, so you cannot underestimate how important having a network of high value men and other people is to your status as a high value man. After the network, we got to have the visibility. Guys, your income and your position has to be LinkedIn level. Think of it like this. This person says they're the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. This person is head of thoracic surgery at Johns Hopkins. This person is VP of Mergers and Acquisitions at Bank of America. And then someone says, hi, I'm an entrepreneur. 3 of those 4 people, at a glance, we can pretty much estimate who they are, what they do, and their relative importance in the overall socioeconomic structure. The 4th person more information is needed. There's not enough visibility, not enough transparency. To be a high value man, it needs to be at a glance. Again, your position and your income. Guys, you may have a lot of money, but if it's coming from sketchy areas, no one can kind of understand where it's coming from. That does not give other high value men or even the public any kind of real confidence that you are who you say you are. Again, guys, it's about the market. It's what the market, the world is thinking. They got to know at a glance that you are a high value man. And the sixth part is probably my favorite part, guys. A high value man is useful to others and the group. A lot of times you hear people say, I don't want to be used. I don't want to be used. No, I want to be used. Why? Because that means I'm useful. High value men are in demand and useful. Their presence is felt when they're there, and their absence is felt when they're gone. That is how you know you're really a high value man. How you can move things, your ability to influence things, and that is your relative usefulness. In economics, it's called UTILs. How useful are you to the group? Again, there's no high value homeless, neither are there any high value loners. If you have all these resources, all this stuff, but it's all hoarded for your own selfish ends, and no one can benefit from your money, your network, or anything you have, how valuable are you to the group, to the world, to other people? That's what this comes down to. High value men are in demand and useful to other people. As I said at the beginning, high value is all the rage, all the buzz right now.
All right. So,
Okay.
Kevin Samuels provided us with a lot of tools on this moving forward with this high value man category in Guy Arrested. So, probably one of the better guys that came out during the pandemic with valuable information.
I agree, but I still feel like he was a little harsh on the opposite sex, but that's a whole nother topic. But so you sent me some information by Rollo Tomasi. Is that how his name?
Tomasi, something like that.
Tomasi.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Tomasi.
Mm.
And he gave his 8.
Come on now, you can't be laughing. You can't be laughing. We gotta be somewhat professional.
Okay. All right, let me put my professional face on. Come on, 28 years of corporate America. Need to He gave us 8 ways for a man to become high value in the quickest path. This is the quickest path to get there, in his opinion. Okay?
Oh,
Number 1.
Go ahead.
No, you want to do something else?
No, go ahead. You go ahead. Once you're done, once you're done stating it, I make my statement. Go ahead.
Okay. Number 1, do not get married. Number 2, avoid family creation. Number 3, vasectomy in your 20s. Number 4, lift.
Consistently.
Lift or live?
Lift, like lift.
He talk about lift weights? Did he talk about working out consistently?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, eliminate all sedations.
Mm-hmm.
Number 6, learn, gain, and networking.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, play to your strengths and build wealth. Number 8, resist, easing up on your focus.
So, in his own words, everything that you read and you see on Twitter is not advice.
Okay.
So this is not advice.
I'm glad you said that.
This is what he said. This is exactly what he said. So
now I need to do this. I need to do this. Because he's saying this is how you become a high value man. This is the quickest path to get there. But let me give everyone some background about the basic needs in life, because I think he missed some points here without thinking about the basic needs in life when giving his 8 ways to get to being a high value man. We're talking about men, not women. Okay, the basic needs of life are, there's 5. Food. You cannot survive in this world without eating.
Mm-hmm.
Water. Some people might say food and water are the same. It is not. It is not. If you don't have water, you will die sooner than you would if you don't have food. Shelter. You have to have some place to lay your head.
Mm-hmm.
Safety.
Mm-hmm.
If you have a place to lay your head, it must be safe and secure. You've got to know that no harm is going to come to you. Then sex. Yes, sex is a basic need of life. I know a lot of people may not believe it, but number 1 is how we replenish the world. And number 2, this is how you connect with another person of the opposite sex. We were meant to be together and be coupled. You are not meant to be alone. If you think that you are, or you were, then something's wrong. You have missed the connection somewhere.
I will have to agree. I will have to
Okay.
agree. So, let's get Myron
Let's get
from
let's get
Fresh
to
and
other
Fit
topics.
from Fresh and Fit podcast.
Yep.
What his take is on a high value man. So let's
The
get
8 ways to get there. The quickest path to get there is what he's talking about, right?
no. This is like his
From this,
view of what
his
this is.
view
What
of it.
yeah.
Okay.
So let's do
I
that.
think,
All right, let's
like
go.
me,
Let's
I
go.
defined it. This is what I think makes you high value. You might have a different take on it. You might roll. You might have a different take on it. I've defined it, and then I took my interpretation off what you said. If you want to get these things, and it makes sense to me, those things that you listed.
So it is based off the 8 as well too, I guess. So
Okay.
all right, look.
But I'm seeing here that everyone here kind of has a different interpretation.
Wait,
of it.
that's not true. All 4 of us probably roughly agree on what
No, we
makes you
don't.
high value.
No, we don't.
The 3 of us probably
Ben
do.
Shapiro said you said you have high value. I don't think think
Having
it is.
like some amount of like physical fitness, we all agree that that's decently valuable, correct?
On some level, yeah.
Okay. Having some amount of like social status, so you've got the attention of a lot of people and you're influential. We all agree on that, right?
Mhm.
Having some amount of financial success, right? You have freedom to take care of your family, retire if you want to, even at an early age. We all agree with that, right?
Okay.
And having some level of success with your family and friends, right? We all roughly agree on that, right?
Okay.
If you have those 4 things in check, you're probably a high value man.
No, it's more than that. See, here's what he's saying. I can add more to it because for me, in my head, what high value is way more than that. To you, that might be important, but to me, it's not. That's not everything.
What's a key component missing from what I said?
Is a high value guy the guy that marries somebody from a foreign country and brings her over here so she can get citizenship? Because that's your family dynamic. My family dynamic is different than that. Does that make me high value or low value?
Exactly. It's going to depend on the person.
If I'm in a heterosexual marriage for 27 years and not in a polycule or some shit like it's like some people will say you're high value because you do that. People will say, Rolla, you can't be red pill because you're married. You can't be married because you're red pill. Okay. And suddenly I'm blue pill because I am actually in a relationship where it's like close on her end, close on her end, and close on my end. But if I go and I talk to the top G or I talk to somebody who's like in an open relationship, is that guy high value because of that? This is not a judgment call. I'm just saying that the definition is going to be different. Even if you have all those things, even each one of those things that you just mentioned is still it's still subject to the context. I agree with what you said, Destiny. What I'm saying is that from within each one of those attributes, People are going to have something wildly different. And you know what they're going to do? They're going to use that for fucking blog fodder and topics to go and do, quick hit videos on, because they just want, click through rate for something like that.
What would we say about women? If we say, what is a high value woman?
All right. So, as you see, even their podcast is not as organized as it should be.
Well, I won't say that we in good company, because that's not.
Look, we didn't even have our shit together. So look, I'm not shooting shots.
Not firing shots either. But I have to say that what they were trying to do, because I listened to the whole podcast, well, an hour and 15 minutes of it.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-hour podcast. So I listened to like an hour and 15 minutes of it.
2 hours and 20 minutes. I listened to the whole thing.
And so what they did in this podcast, when they started talking about the high value man in these 8 ways to get there, is they stopped, in my opinion, on the vasectomy part and the procreation part, and had this huge topic of discussion that turned into a bashing of women.
Right.
And how women choose to get a divorce because they can achieve more money and clout by marrying and divorcing than a man can.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I found that really, really sad that you have these people saying that a woman will benefit from a divorce better than a man will fare, when there are some men who try to take a woman for everything that she has.
Right.
Be you well off or a simple everyday average person. The courts are filled with people who are trying to get over based on the fact that they're no longer going to be in a relationship with the opposite person. So you can't say that this is a woman thing, because there's men who do the exact same thing. So it doesn't become a man-woman. It becomes an individual person who doesn't know how to take care of themselves and not capable of providing their own basic 5 needs of life. But go ahead.
So the reason why I said you could tell that they ain't got their shit together is because he was trying to give his view on what's a high value man, and he let the guest cut him off to give, to say what he said, right? Like we all
Right.
agree and everything else and whatnot.
Right.
He never got that off. Now,
Mhm.
I know you don't know nothing about the Fresh and Fit and how they
I do not.
operate. I know
I
you
do
don't.
not.
But they was a big player in the game during the pandemic. They got their claim of fame from kicking out women from the podcast, because they got the after hours show where they have a whole bunch of women. They in Miami, so they have a whole bunch of women on the panel, and they start grilling them and fucking like fax bombing them on shit. Like after these women like legitimately was like out drinking all night, and they be like, "Do you think women got women? Do you think women have women rights?" And they're like, "Yeah, we do." Court to this, that, and then like after that, like they start disagreeing with him, and then like because they're drunk, they will cut him off like that guest did, and he was like, "Don't cut me off. This is my podcast, and if you do it again, you can get out." And then they cut
Kick
him
him
off
out.
again. Get out of here. Get your shit. Get out. You need to leave. Like And so
is that the face? Is that the face they were doing?
yeah, I believe it is. You
Right,
have to
right.
find out because I'm about to play you a clip on what he would normally do to a woman that cut him off.
That'll
So,
cut him off. Okay, let's go. Let's go.
Income, etc. Experience that takes time. A man that's 35 is not the same as a woman that's 35 at all.
There's so many sugar daddies, man.
Yeah, like
See 'em
that's
everywhere.
men age like wine, women typically age like milk. Now, can you push the clock back a little bit as a woman? You go to the gym, you take care of yourself, do some Kegels, whatever. Yeah, for sure. But you're never going to be able to compete with your 21-year-old self when you're 31, bro.
That's
Period.
facts.
Because and the other thing too, from a
Wow.
biological perspective, most of your eggs are gone by the time you're 35. It's considered a high risk pregnancy. And by the time you're 30, like 80% of your eggs plus are gone. So if a man wants to have a family, you can't even give him children.
They could take them.
You're virtually useless from a biological standpoint.
Oh man.
I mean,
That's the truth.
Don't want no kids.
That is the truth. That's facts. From a if I want to have a family and I'm marrying a chick that's 35 years old, there's a higher than 90% chance that I will not be able to have children with her.
I know
that baby is
I
gonna
know a
come
couple,
out.
right? I know a couple that were deeply in love. You know, he loved her, she loved him, and she was 35 and he was like 42. And what happened was he was trying to have kids for like years, and he just said to her one day, he's like, "Yo, you know what? I love you, but I want kids, and you can't give that to me." And he left, and that was sad because like they really loved each other.
And that's the biggest gift that you
happens.
could. That's the biggest honor that you could bestow upon a man is children and a family. And
Yeah.
if you're in your 30s, you can't do that. A lot of the time. Now, are there women that are capable? For sure. Don't get it twisted. You
It can
can,
happen.
but the chances go down.
It's high risk though.
Yeah. Do you have anything
So-
to say to that? You seem really mad.
I'm not mad. I just don't understand why you think men are better than women. That's to me. That's what it sounds
Wait,
like.
you didn't say that?
No, to me, that's what it sounds like. You think that men are better than women. That's just what I'm getting from it.
No.
I didn't hear that one time though.
Not me either.
Okay.
At what point did I ever say men are better than women?
I mean, just the way you're speaking, you do think that men are better than women, but
How did I say that?
I don't have anything to say.
The problem is that you're interpreting what I'm saying through your feelings versus logic.
Okay.
I simply said that women don't have the same biological time clock that men do. That does not mean that one
Okay.
gender is better than the other.
Okay.
You're in your feelings right now.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, she's super
Yep,
in her feelings.
I'm in
She's
my
tight.
feelings. I'm
Kiki.
tight.
Yeah, you're tight.
You
Tight
are,
as
bro.
fuck.
Like,
Shout out to T Grizzly. I'm in my feelings.
man.
All right.
We got some more chats here.
How do you extrapolate? You think men are better than women off of me stating biological facts?
Next topic.
But I feel like
No. We don't need to move the topic. How can you extrapolate that from what I just
Next
said?
topic.
No. We're not going to no next topic.
Wow.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Next topic.
How did you come to that conclusion?
Next topic.
Whose show do you think you are on?
My show.
Get the fuck off the show, bro. Get the fuck out of here. You're not gonna disrespect the platform like that.
Okay.
Ridiculous. The fuck off
there you
the
go,
platform.
Frank Castle. All right.
And you knocked the mic over. She's
I wish an older person had been in that room, an older woman, so that she could tell him that sometimes, depending upon how active you are as a man, once you get into your 30s, your dick don't work. You can't even get that motherfucker up. Sometimes you can't even ejaculate. Sometimes this damn shit goes right back up into your fucking body due to how much you have used it. Haven't you ever heard of erectile dysfunction? What you're talking about, a woman can get older.
That do not sound fun at all. Oh, shit. But fellas, take care of yourself.
You will feel like you are having a regular ejaculation. If you're not having a regular ejaculation, that shit is going right back up into your body. That woman is not getting wet in any kind of way from you. So, sir, your theory about men aging like wine is a fucking lie. I can bring up facts if you need me to. I can tell you what the disorder is and everything.
You know, some of the shit that he says is hot. Is hot takes. it's shit to get them, get the buzz out. It's shit to get more majority of the women upset, and that's how they blew the fuck up during the pandemic, right?
I don't want to take away from the topic because I think the topic is a really good topic. But I do want to say this about him. It seems as if he is nowhere near being a high value man. It seems that he has been hurt and damaged, and he hates women in general. Because
it's a power play.
Exactly.
It's a power play.
Because I don't understand how it actually came to the point where men and women now think that we're on the true opposite team and we hate each other. So either you're part of the He-Man's Women Haters Club.
I can tell you.
Okay.
Okay. And this is just a speculation. This is just my opinion. This is not anything that I studied or looked up. But this is just what it seemed like. Man hurt woman. Woman hurt man. They did not forgive nor try to forgive or just try to cope with everything. And they take that baggage on to the next relationship and hurt the next person, and that cycle keep going over and over to a point where they teaching their kids, man ain't shit, women ain't shit, fuck that bitch, fuck that nigga.
Well,
so that's what it seems like.
I just want to throw this in before we continue because, like I said, I believe this is a wonderful topic to discuss. And, I believe that we need to really get into this whole high value man and how to get there, versus lingering on the BS that they were talking. But this is my whole conversation for them, and anybody who wants to hang in that type of scenario thinking that it is a good thing to do. If you associate yourself with trash, you're going to attract rats.
Amen. So
that's all I can say.
So let's keep moving with this high value topic. So the high value Rolio, whatever his motherfucking name, Roly Polioli, I don't care. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
I know you're not.
First off, I don't believe in this red pill bullshit. I don't believe in it.
I'm not even into that shit. I got to look it up and find out what the fuck you mean by a red pill and a blue pill. I just know life. So
last time I checked, this is not the Matrix. I ain't got no black dude telling me your world will change. You pick the red pill, you pick the blue pill. Like, if you don't get your deep ass voice like you gonna sell me car insurance, the fuck up out of here. Like, that bullshit. But anyways, this dude is the godfather of the manosphere, the red pill community. And so that's the reason why his tweet is sweeping these guys off their feet, the ones that believe in it, because like, oh my God, our great grandfather literally spoke to us and gave us another gem. We must believe in it. So, that's the reason why it's a big thing. So we're going to get what he meant on everything and whatnot. So yeah, let's get it.
I guess weeks ago, I think it was Tuesday of last week. You guys had Brandon Carter on. Is that with Derek Moneyberg? Or was that Monday?
Monday.
Monday. Sorry, let me get my camera back up there. So Monday, you guys were talking to Brandon Carter. One of the things that Brandon was talking about was you got to love money. You got to be on top of your game. And I love Brandon Carter, by the way. I think he should be a stand-up comedian. I mean, the guy is that funny. He's a great guy, right? But when you guys are on that show and you're talking to him and he's talking about how he doesn't go to he doesn't go to Publix, doesn't go grocery shopping for himself. He doesn't go do his own laundry. He doesn't have a car. It's Brickle White, but he doesn't have like some basic stuff because his philosophy in life is that anything that takes him away from his grind, anything that takes him away from anything that would distract him or that would be financially or mathematically not a pragmatic choice for him to make, as far as like if he's spending time going grocery shopping or going and getting food for himself or whatever else. I'm sure he's like into meal prep and everything else, but pretty much everything in his life is outsourced, because anything that he would be spending that time himself to go do, he could be losing money doing that at that time. So when I was listening to this, and I was thinking about this myself, because I was actually at the same time, I'm like, helping a friend move and all this. And I'm thinking about this. I'm going, you know what? If you want to be a high value man, if you want to get to that apex level as fast as you can, that's it. How is that not the best way to go about it? Okay. So the point of that whole tweet, which was basically a throwaway tweet that everyone started like snowballing into something else. I've got Ben Shapiro coming at me. I got Matt Walsh coming at me. I got Lauren Chen coming at me. I got all these people off of Daily Wire, because it was just easy, low hanging fruit for these guys, because they think that that's what the fucking manosphere is all about. And it's not. Okay. That was not fucking advice. Everything that is on Twitter is not advice. Okay.
Was that a joke?
No, it was not necessarily a joke, but it's like, let's just say it's a hypothetical, okay? It's showing you. Now, listen, 5 seconds, okay? This is no fucking joke here, because everything that's come out of both of you guys' mouth has been nothing but distraction and misdirection, because it's easy fucking clicks for you. So here's the whole thing. When I'm talking about get a vasectomy, don't be concerned with.
I like how when he's mad, his glasses get uneven on his nose. You see?
I'm really mad about this, bro.
Shall we keep going? Are we just gonna have jokes thrown in here?
Really heated about this.
Is that what I get to? Is that what I get to do it? Okay, so here's the deal. When I'm talking about this, when I'm throwing this out there, why wouldn't you do that? Would you not have been more successful, Sneeko, had you not had to go through certain things? If you had a kid right now,
advice or not?
You would be playing the game with a handicap. You would be playing the game with your fucking hands tied behind your back.
Okay, so
there are guys right now who I have a lot of respect for, and I'm sure you have a lot of respect for as well, who all have kids, but you know what they try to do? Try to keep it under wraps.
Okay,
try
so
to make sure nobody knows about the fucking kids. Okay.
So what is advice?
So here's okay. First off, this is not fucking advice. Everything that is on my show or is on Twitter is not automatically advice. Now, but here's the thing. You know what you're gonna say, because here's the deal. When I was on whatever podcast I was telling this, I was saying exactly the same thing here. Is that everything that comes out of somebody's mouth on Instagram or on Twitter or on a YouTube, there's no way you can't go on there without somebody going, this is what these guys are saying to do. Because if you have this set automatically, that if it comes out of your mouth, it's automatically advice, it can't just be data. It can't just be statistics. It can't be, nothing can be just delivered sort of like, here's some data for you to look at. Okay. Nothing can be set. Nothing can be given to you without somebody going, well, the reason why you're telling me this is because you're telling me that this is the best way to live my life. Okay. So when I'm watching Brendan Carter and I'm watching all this going on, and I'm looking at like guys that I know and guys that you know as well. And when these are the guys who are like saying, be on your game, do this, do that. They're the ones that are giving this advice. All I'm doing is saying, hey, look, maybe you should not focus on family. Maybe you should not get married. I mean, I don't know why that's big.
It's maybe advice.
I'm not saying it's advice. What I'm saying is that this is so over the fucking top that everybody wants to take it out of context, which is exactly what you guys have been doing.
So what is it? Can you tell me what that tweet was if it wasn't advice?
It's not advice. What it is it's okay. It's saying that this is the most extreme way to do things. Okay. Here's the quickest path to, if I told you this, look, if I said the quickest way for you to make $1 million,
that sounds like advice,
is to go steal it from the bank or go to steal it. Does that mean I'm telling you to go steal it? If I tell you to go fucking jump off a cliff, are you going to go jump off a cliff?
Right,
I'm also, by the way.
So
I need some damn popcorn. That's some entertaining shit, because that's all it is entertaining shit.
I've been wanting to make a video, or the inconsistency and the hypocrisy of the Fresh and Fit content for a while now, but I chose not to. I called him out on this podcast specifically one day but we was having issues with the audio and things not syncing up the right way, so we had to reshoot the podcast, and I just left it out because I was like, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm glad that we on this topic right here, because this is
horrible.
interesting. This is interesting.
This is horrible, because see, here's the thing with this Tomasi person and them.
Hold on before you get off on him, just so you know why I'm critiquing him as hard as I am. It's because he write books. He's sell books on this shit. He believe in this so hardly that he write books, and I believe he is a bestseller for this type of content. That's the reason why they call him the grandfather, the godfather of the Manosphere, Red Pill. Okay. He has a whole cult following. When he say something, it's like the president is saying something to these guys. Oof. You see what I'm saying?
Well, look.
So just so you as mindful as I am, if you want to go 10 times harder now, you definitely can. Because when he's telling 20-year-olds to get a vasectomy, there are some 20-year-olds already fucking scheduling an appointment.
Booking their appointments. So see, and that's exactly what I was about to say. What you're trying to do is you're trying to give people a starting point to start that journey to become a high value man. But telling them to have a vasectomy and avoid family creation, you're not telling them to do that while they're younger. Like, you're telling them to have a vasectomy in their 20s. But wouldn't it be easier to tell them to get a plan? Figure out what it is that you want to do in life, what you're good at, what is actually going to help you gain value and bring value to the world. Learn everything you need to know about that thing. Get your plan together and work your plan. This is how people become successful. You become successful by knowing what your strengths are and working the plan to get you where you want to go. You live it, you sleep it, you eat it, you breathe it, you run to that shit every day, non-stop grind at it. That's what you do in order to become high value at what it is that you want to do and what you're going to bring to this world. Not by telling a 20-year-old, go and have a vasectomy to the point where they're probably never going to be able to have children in their life if they don't get it reversed within a certain amount of time. And then there's no guarantee you can reverse it once you get it done.
So,
but you already having children. You already got your babies.
He ain't got no kids. He ain't got no kids.
He ain't got no kids? I thought he said today he was hiding kids or something. I'm sorry, I must have misunderstood what he was saying.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have any kids.
What? Okay, I'm not gonna say it because that'd be bad. Can't say nothing nice. Don't say nothing at all. What was you about to say?
No, go ahead. Keep going.
So then you're telling people not to get married. I agree. Getting married young is not a thing to do because you don't know enough about yourself yet. You want to learn your boundaries as a human being and how to control yourself if somebody cross your boundaries. You don't know that while you're in your 20s. You don't, as a man, do not know the type of woman that you really want until you get to know who you are. So you need to learn you. You need to know everything there is to know about you inside and out before you choose to say this woman is the woman that I want to marry. Because you want somebody that's going to compliment you. You want someone that's going to help you. You want someone that when you say, baby, I want to go out and do this, and it's going to take us $10,000 to get this done. And she be like, I'm riding, I got half. That's what you want.
Yep.
But if you don't know who you are, how do you know if you're going to be able to find a woman that's going to back you like that? And you give her a reason to want to back you up like that. So you are treating this woman with the utmost care and respect at all times. But if you just out here trying to fuck off every time you get the opportunity, then you're not ready for that marriage. So no, you should not get married. You know, when you're talking about lifting consistently, are you talking about just being a healthy version of you? Absolutely, you should be the healthiest version of you that you can possibly be. That's a part of life. Because if you're unhealthy, you cannot live. If you're talking about, not to smoke weed, drink alcohol, anything that's going to take you outside of your mindset, things are done in moderation. Everything in life should be done in moderation. Should you be out there smoking crack? Hell no. So know your audience. If you got a whole bunch of crackheads listening to you, then this is probably the list for them. But if you have men whose parents have done their job and done their job right to raise like-minded children, to grow up and actually contribute to this world, then this is not the list for them. Should you learn the game? Should you learn how to network? That's a part of life. You should be learning that while you're in high school. You actually start learning that in elementary school. And as you get older, you take it to the next level. Read The Art of War. That's the best book that you could read to learn about gaming and networking.
So he does have a daughter.
Yeah, I thought you said something about having kids.
Yeah, he has a daughter.
So you have children or a child, and your bloodline is going to continue. But you're telling other men not to let their bloodline continue. This is some sad shit. It's some sad shit. As I said before, you need to play to your strengths for sure. You need to find out what it is that you do and do it well, and learn how to turn that into some money for you. While you're sitting here giving people this advice and telling them to do certain things, and you're teaching those people who believe that they should have drank bleach during COVID to now not have children.
That's a good way to put it. Go ahead. I'm just saying that was a good way to put it. Go ahead.
That's who you playing to. That's who you playing to. So these are the people who this is your audience who you want to help, but you are not helping. You are not helping them. And anybody who will pick this up and say, oh yeah, this is what I'm going to do to get to the next level. You are not getting to the next level doing this. So it's good that he said that this was not advice, because this is trash. Ball this shit up and wipe your ass with it and flush it down the toilet. That's the best I can tell you.
So, yeah. He has one daughter. He's married, and he has a wife and everything else.
Okay.
So that's it, right? So he did procreate and have a child, and got a child in this world, and spread his seed and everything else. And I believe he had the child
On
young
top of
as
that,
well.
and then on top of that, it's a female child. So now you have a daughter who can bring life for you into this world
And keep your namesake going.
and keep your namesake going. Now, of course, you could have a male child and he could do the same thing, but it's different. It hit differently with a female child.
Your son can probably, with consent of her partner, with his partner, that he can probably have maybe 1 to 3
Right.
tops. If the woman can persuade her man, if she can do 2 to 5.
The thing is that, there are women out here who have had 12, 13 kids,
Exactly.
and a lot of them with the same man, but if
Exactly.
you can't do it with the same man, you can do it with a different man, and so what I'm saying, and I say that to say this, while women
Well,
are
Nick
getting-
Cannon has proven that you can do it with a different woman too. Shit. So I mean,
well, there are men who has had up to 20 to 30 children. So
no shit. But the difference between a man and a woman is a woman can do that without any social status. A man gonna have social status to get 12 other women pregnant. He gonna have to have that or some strong ass game. Strong. I mean, strong as the slaves back in Mississippi on the field. Strong shit.
But what I'm saying, it hit differently with your girl child is that you see that girl pregnant, you see her, for sure, there's no way to get around it. That is yours. You with your male child, you could get a DNA and all of that other stuff, and it's fine, but it just hit differently when you see your girl child pregnant. So it's like, so it's like, I hate that we are at this point again to where men and women are being pitted against one another by certain people with certain beliefs to try to tell men that they are above women and tell women, you ain't nothing but a piece of shit, so I'm just going to use you for what I want to use you for, and then I can just find another one. Go ahead.
One of these red pill guys has said, what women want to know to make a man happy is sex, sound, and silence.
I believe it. I believe he said it.
It wasn't neither one of these. It was none of these guys that we just watched. It was none of these guys.
No.
But
I'm talking about somebody who believes in what they believe in. I can definitely see that happened. And only because you don't understand the psyche of a woman, and we are definitely going to get into that part of a high value woman as well. Just not today. But understand, as a man who wants your woman to be submissive to you, because I think that that's what you're looking for. I think you guys are looking for a submissive woman, but you don't know how to get that. You don't know how to put her in that position where she feels real good about letting you do whatever it is to do to control what goes on in that household. In order for a woman to feel strong enough to be weak enough to submit to a man, you have got to be strong enough to let her be weak enough to submit to you. So if you're constantly out here speaking to her badly, treating her badly, taking things away from her because you feel like you can, because you are a man, and I do air quotes for man, because I honestly believe that there are some adult age men that are only men because they have a penis. Everything else about you is not man-like. You are not capable of putting a roof over your head because you live in your woman's house. You are not capable of putting food in the refrigerator because you don't have a job. But yet, you're telling this woman, I'm the man of the house, and you're going to do what I tell you to do. So you're driving her car after you drop her off at work to go hang out with your homies who ain't got jobs either and living with their baby mamas. But yet, you want to throw that man card down real quick. You're not a man, sir. Sorry, not a man.
So,
and again, I'm gonna bring that line up I said before. If you associate yourself with trash, you're gonna attract rats. Go ahead.
So, this is the way I feel about it. This Fresh and Fit guys, Destiny, Sneeko, and Rolio Tomasi. Let's start off with Rolio Tomasi. You have 71.7K followers on Instagram. I didn't even bother looking at all your other social medias. But I'm pretty sure if I did, you'll have over 100,000 people following you and watching everything that you do and say.
Yep.
So, by that being said, you have those many followers and you put out this throwaway tweet that you put out. My question would be is, when are you going to be held accountable?
Yep.
You are a high figure. People, you write books. You write books on this type of stuff. And people have used your books to transform their lives, to do whatever they want to do with their lives, and credit you for that success. So you got all these letters and all these things and these tweets and these meetups, and people say, if it wasn't for your book, I wouldn't did such and such and such, and you take credit for those successes. Now it's time for you to take credit for your fuck up. Don't say you put out this tweet and say, oh, not everything.
It wasn't advice.
Everything is on Twitter is not as advice. No,
it's not advice.
If you would have put out that tweet and everybody would have said that's great advice, you would have stand on that shit 10 toes down. Now that motherfucker's pushing back and saying a vasectomy
at 20.
At 20. In order for the dude to get the vasectomy at the age of 20, that means he need to reverse it by the age of 30. And it's still no guarantee that it would be even like possible for him to have kids. So it'd be a 50-50 thing where your dumb ass already, well, I shouldn't say dumb, but your ignorant ass already had kids to have, and already did your thing, and you did this at the age of 19. So, by that being said, that was very ignorant and very disrespectful for the younger generation of men that's coming up.
Yep.
To say that shit. Because you are granted as the godfather, the grandfather of the manosphere of the red pill.
Listen.
Stupid as shit. Hold on, mama. Hold on.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. Now, Sneeko. Sneeko is a very different guy. He flip-flop, change around, do everything differently. Like
I noticed that.
He says a
noticed
lot
that.
of he recently just gave his life to the Muslim Islam. So that's what he's doing, and that's the reason why he's pushing back on that whole family creation and the vasectomy situation. Destiny is a guy who's in an open relationship, brought his woman from another country to America, got married so he could have her here. Cool. An open relationship, doing his thing. Everything else. Don't really give a fuck about those two.
Right.
Fresh and Fit. You got Fit, who's balding, and Fresh, who looks like he's fucking 50, but he thinks he's 20. So, I never understood these characters. I never understood these guys. And they gave me the vibe of you was the kid in school where you got beat up, talking down to, the girls didn't like you, they played you, they robbed you probably. And now that you got a little money and you got some success and you got everything around you. And first off, let me take that back. Now that you got some money, I'm not gonna say little money because you got money. So now that you got some money, you swimming in the pussy, but is the pussy even valuable? Now, before I even go that far, before I even say is the pussy even valuable. Now, I'm not trying to disrespect the woman who gave you the box. I'm not trying to. Because it is what it is, you know. Like if you driving around if like rented or own, I don't know, or lease Lamborghinis and Range Rovers and everything else, to each his own. If I was a woman, I'd probably give it up to you too. I don't know. We'll see. You got to take a lot of drinks because your ass is fucking hit in the face. Anyway, now
wait,
this is
hold
what
on.
you
Can
do.
I fall out?
Right. This is where I've been watching it off and on. I've been watching their content because, like I told you, their content is literally hot takes.
Right.
And I truly don't believe in anything that these motherfuckers say.
Oh, absolutely not.
From a guy who women didn't like when puberty hit, pussy hit. I've been fucking shit since I was 12.
Oh, Lord Jesus.
So, you telling me that you just now getting money and you getting box? I've been using my mouth to get box, nigga. The fuck is you talking about? I was talking these bitches out of their drawers. I didn't on no pants. Job. So, in here, okay? I'm not trying to be funny. And my mama sitting right here. She would tell you she was buying the fucking condoms. So let's be clear. I'm not bullshitting you. This is real life. This is my life. This is what I've been doing.
I got receipts.
Okay. So what do you mean that this is something that you have to do to be a high value man, to have different women that you sleeping with? I fucked a bitch on Monday, fucked a different bitch on Tuesday, slept with another girl on Wednesday, ate a girl out on Thursday, and then try to sleep with a 40-year-old on Friday. That was my week. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, quit playing with me, man.
Mothers out there, mothers that may be listening, my heart is breaking right now. The things that you learn.
So, I'm not that. I used to be. I changed since I had kids. I'm a father too, but I'm not that guy that really like to brag on what I done in the past and how I got to where I was at and all the other shit. Used to be because that's what us dudes do. We talk about our escapades. We talk about what we did and shit like that. As I got older, especially since I had kids, I realized how toxic and stupid that shit is. That's some very toxic ass man shit.
And
these dudes, fresh and fit, they are toxic as men. They're not even red pill as men, if you ask me. They toxic as fuck. If you want to tell dudes to
absolutely
to not worry about the woman, not worry about getting married, avoid creating families for the time being, cool. Lift weights.
Makes sense.
Cool. Eat healthy. Cool. Create a plan and attack that plan. Cool. I have a somewhat respect for Myron. Myron was in the law enforcement field. He was an FBI agent. So he didn't have the time to fuck with women. He didn't have time to, chase after drugs or do anything like that because he knew what he wanted to do. And to become an FBI agent, the first question they ask you, have you done any marijuana? If you click yes, you suspended off that application. You can't go any further.
Right.
They have a hard no on people who even just tried it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for that alone, I respect him because he went that far and got into the FBI and moved forward and was actually an FBI agent. You know what I'm saying? That takes a lot of work, and that's a lot of applause for him for that. But other than that, dude, quit playing with me. Talking I didn't give women a chance. First off, women wasn't gonna give you a chance, nigga. That's just you. It's either you got it or you don't. And if you ain't got it, nigga, you wasn't gonna get it. Simple as that. Fresh, get the fuck out of here.
What just got personal?
Interject that way. I'm just not. Your name is only Myron. His name is Fit. He's in shape. FBI agent, gotta be physically in shape. Makes sense. Makes sense. Fresh, nigga, you got money, so you can buy your clothes. That don't make you fresh. You may look fresh, but you ain't fresh, nigga. I can pull the same bitches in a Walmart outfit. You fully dressed down and fucking off-white gear. Nike shit that costs thousands and thousands of dollars. Rest in peace to Virgil. That's what you doing. That's what you dressed in.
Well, listen. Let me say this. I'm gonna go back because this is my phrase of the day. My phrase of the day is: if you associate with trash, you're going to attract. And I'm saying that for a reason.
So
listen. If you are thinking that you can have multiple women simply because you got money, and these women are being with you because you got money or some type of success going on with your life, and you're getting all these women now, and you feel like these are quality people who are hanging around with you simply because you have a car, simply because you got some type of personal status, simply because you can pay for whatever it is that they want, be it male or female, all these, this entourage you got, lookers on that you got going on with you, and you feel like this is making you a big person. You don't know your boundaries. You don't know who you are, because these people are not there for you. They're there because of you being who you are. If you turned around and lost all of that you got going on right now today, and you feel like any of these people who are standing behind you, because your real people, the people who are there for you, is standing right there beside you. Some of them are even a couple steps ahead of you, because you always want somebody ahead of you so that you can learn more. That's that motherfucker you looking for to get that extra from. That's who gonna give you the rest of what you need to get where you gotta go. Is that one of those few that are right there in front of you? Because see, I'm gonna tell you about who I be. Who I be? Always have some people in front of me. I don't want to be the smartest person in the room. I don't want to be the person that everybody is looking up to, because if I'm the person that everybody is looking up to, that means that I don't have nobody in front of me that can teach me. And as a human being, you are always capable of learning something from somebody, because you do not know it all. So go ahead.
So what I'm basically about to bring it back to is that being a high value man is not based on how many women you fuck, how many women is around you, and avoiding, family creation. From an early age, a young boy and a young girl knows if they want to have kids or not. Based on their family dynamics, they know if they want to have kids or not.
Yeah.
Right? I'm going to ask you a personal question. What age did you know you wanted to have kids?
Oh, around 8.
Okay.
I was around 8 years old. And how do I know that I was around 8? It's because I wanted to be a dancer. They had the Alvin Ailey Company going on back then, and it was a beautiful thing with all this modern dance that was going on. And I was like, oh my God, this is what I really want to do with my life. I can be that. I can do that.
Right.
I now understand that was not a reality for me, But right after that, my next thought was, when I have my children, I want to be able to provide for them. I want them to be comfortable.
Okay.
I didn't know how many kids I wanted.
But you wanted some.
I wanted some, and I wanted to live comfortably, and that my children would never want for anything. All their needs would be met.
So the reason why I'm stating that is I never thought I wanted kids. It didn't take me until I was like in my 20s to realize that I want kids. Because I was down playing the pussy field. That's just how I felt.
Right.
I tell people all the time, it was just a joke, but God knew how to find me to be in some pussy. That's how he found me, in my opinion. That's how I started. That's how I got back into, my religion. It was through a woman. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
That's just how I always operated. But anyways, most of the time, kids know what they want to have kids or not. In the process of having kids, process of going through that, growing up, they learn things to be able to provide for their child and not even knowing. Cleaning up, doing their laundry, cooking, going to school, learning that responsibility of doing a 9 to 5 or whatever it may be, because that's what school feel like nowadays.
It is. That's basically what it is. It's teaching you that you got to get up in the morning and go do something all day and then come back home.
Exactly. So kids going in that whole cycle of life, they're going through they're going through a child version of the rat race in that process. When they get older and have their own children, it's second nature. Kids are not asked to be born. We do it selfishly to populate this overpopulated world in hopes that they become great. and do be the next doctors, cure whatever next disease that it may be.
We raise them to be productive adults. At least we should be raising our
what
children.
We try to, what we most people strive to,
to be productive adults. Absolutely,
so,
absolutely.
In that frame, when they was telling these dudes to avoid family creation, at some point you cannot avoid family creation.
You don't
in
want
your 20s, you should be thinking about, do I want to have kids? Not trying to actively have them. You need to think about it. That's not something to avoid.
In your 20s, hold on. In your 20s, you should be thinking about who I am. Who am I?
But that's part of who. But that's part of who you are.
In order to get to who I want to have children with. Because if you don't know who you are, and I know that there are plenty of men out here who say that they would rather have a woman choose them. This is the biggest mistake that you will ever make.
No,
allowing a woman to choose you. You need to choose your woman and ask her if she chooses you.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely do. And when in your 20s, that's not something that you should avoid. Because by the time you from 20 to 25, you like, man, do I want to have kids? Like, you trying to figure yourself out. You figure yourself out. I would say by the time you're 24, you already know who you are and what path you're going to go. If you strongly focus by 25 to 30, you should be thinking about, do I want my kids vaccinated? Who am I have these kids with? What religion we're gonna do? Is this gonna be mixed race? If you're not traditional, you want to do with the white women or Hispanic women or Asian women, whatever it may be, or if you want to stay within your own culture, if you black, white, or whatever. These are things that you need to talk about, because these are things that you need to think about, because not only that you're going to have kids with another race, they got to know their culture. And whatever woman that you decide to sleep with that's a different culture from you, don't be a dick, learn it.
Right.
Because they're going to go over to their family house and motherfucker, you better know what the fuck they teaching your kids. Because these are your kids, not theirs. If you're going to do it, step up. Agreed. So these are things that you need to learn, and these are things that you need to think about in your 20s. You don't want to have these kids and thinking like, oh, shit, I had kids. No, motherfucker, be prepared. It's being preparation. So if you want to say, hey, I'm going to be a lawyer, you go to all these classes, do all this shit for schooling to become a lawyer. And when you pass the bar, it's not a surprise because you did all the fucking practice and all the problems and all the classes to get you to that point. Why the fuck are you going to have a kid on a whim? No, that's ignorant. You need to think about this shit in your fucking 20s and execute it in your mids and then move forward. What the fuck? Like, getting a vasectomy, it's just as easy to buy a fucking pack of condoms.
Well, I'm gonna tell you this because I honestly believe that no person should be actually having children while they're in their teens. I don't even care if you're 18 or 19. I don't think that anybody should be having children when they're in their early 20s. I don't think that you know enough about who you are and what it is that you want to do in this world.
To be honest with you, I agree. You should not have kids in your early 20s. You
and
like
so,
mid 20s either. Like, I want to say, if you're gonna do it in your late 20s, maybe your early 30s.
Late 20s, early 30s, because that gives you a good idea of who you are and the person that you want to be in this thing with, and you need to think about, as you are dating and you're actually having sex with people, is this the type of woman that if an accident happens that we can work together if we don't
and
get
figure it all out?
and figure it out. Because see, what we don't do as human beings, as we're thinking about, just getting that rock off that night, is that mistakes happen. Mistakes happen. And if this person is not prepared, male or female, to actually try to prevent that thing from happening, it's a possible chance that you're going to have a child. And this child didn't ask to come into the world, but yet you are still responsible to make sure that they're okay. Both men and women are. And so the thing is, for me, when we're talking about these people who wanted to give this advice and talk about this advice as to how to become a high value person, I want to know if they consider themselves to be of high value. I want to know what it is. Hold on, let me finish. I want to know, do you consider yourself to be of high value? And I also want to know why you consider yourself to be high value. I want to know, have you ever sat back and thought about what you bring to the table to another person while you're trying to tear down the opposite sex? What is it about you that will make a woman want to be with you? What are you bringing to her? Because see, it takes two to make that thing work. And if you're not of high value, and trust me, simply because you make money does not make you high value. That means you could be a boy with money. Simply because other men around you consider you to be of value to them, what are the men around you of value of? Are they really truly of value to the world, or are they of value to other men just like them? See, this is why I like Kevin Samuels' ideal of a high value man, because he put it so plainly to make you understand it's about the world, it's about the universe that determines your value, not you. Not you, and not just the people around you. What are you giving back? What are you adding value to? Because that's what you should be doing in the world. A real, true, successful person understands that they're not truly being taken to the next level and having that success until they are truly giving back. That is what propels you to go to the next level. That's when somebody sees you out here doing the work and say, I got something for them. They can be on my team. And then you get to that billion, probably million, could possibly hit trillion air status. So million, billion, trillion.
This is the way I see it. In order for a young man to become high value, it doesn't matter what the fuck you do. It's what the market say.
That's absolutely what the market say. Absolutely.
So you can have all the money in the world. You can have all the social connections in the world. You can do all the great in the world. If that one woman that you want doesn't consider you high value because you're not going to give her $10,000 every month, you're not high value to her.
If you have a woman that the only way that she sees you as valuable, that you got to give her $10,000, is that the woman that you want?
It shouldn't be, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. But see, I really want. Go ahead.
If you really want to know if you in a high value man company, you need to be around other high value men, and the other high value men will let you know if you have value or not. If you in the company, of
Absolutely.
high value.
True high value
Value
men.
man.
True high value men. You know, you can't go to somebody who has never had a successful marriage and ask them for marital advice. You know, so how in the world are you going to go to a low value man and ask him to tell you if you're high value or not? Again, if you associate yourself with trash, you're going to attract trash.
You know, I'm not gonna say Fresh and Fit, Sneeko, Destiny, or Rolo Tomasi are not high value men or not. Because I'm not nowhere near in their category of touching figures that they're touching. I'm not finna disrespect them like that, and I'm not finna go that far and say that they're not, right? That's just not what I'm gonna do. But what I am gonna say is you have platforms.
Yep.
These dudes pay you handsomely for your courses, meaning Fresh and Fit and Rolo Tomasi's. For your courses and books, they pay you handsomely for this shit to figure out how they can get into the next step in life. Do not tell these dudes to get a fucking vasectomy at the age of 20s, where there is ways for men to prevent having kids out there. It's either not having sex, having the discipline to not fuck until they figure their shit out, or buying fucking condoms. You guys are legitimately have the biggest platform on YouTube, Fresh and Fit. You can literally get a fucking sponsorship with fucking Trojan if you promote young men to have protective sex and put the damn condoms on the table, saying this episode is sponsored by fucking Trojan. You can make money that way. And tell these young dudes it's not always smart to go raw dogging. Because I'm literally watching a YouTube era. The YouTube era is it went from pranksters to people doing vlogging, to people doing real life content, you know, day to day of their lives, whatever it may be. Now it's going to mischief content. And one of the biggest mischief person that's going into stores and fucking with people and just fucking with people in general, he literally have a shirt saying professional raw dogger. And it's young dudes, some girls, but young dudes watching this shit. And they wearing the t-shirts out in public. Professional raw dogger. And no disrespect to him, he's a funny guy and he seems like a very chill guy, and I would love to hang out with him and do some fucked up shit to people out in the public. But, when I say fucked up, like just pranking them, you know what I'm saying? Because he gets sponsorship.
It's all fun. It's all fun and games till somebody get hurt. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
At first, he was very, very, very reckless. But now he gets sponsorships.
Because I've seen him before. Yeah, I've seen him before. Yeah.
But now he gets sponsorships from companies saying, "Hey, go fuck with our employees." And so he go into the stores and fuck with their employees and everything else, and then he's like, it's a joke. So like, if I get the okay from your sponsors to help you go fuck with their employees, I'm down. Because I know I'm not gonna get in trouble. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But listen, let me say this. Let me say this. I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you. For those where much is given, much is expected. So if you have this platform and you are able to talk to people, you should be doing it in a responsible way. I agree with you 110%. Now, where I don't agree with you is this. I will definitely have a conversation about true high value men and what the qualities of a true high value man is after we discuss high value women. Because I believe that I believe that it is a combination. I don't believe it crosses gender lines. I believe all the qualities apply to human beings. But I will say, my opinion, those are not high value men. You're a high value man in your circle. In your circle. you may be considered a high value man. But on the world stage, on the world platform, there are men who are truly of high value that you couldn't even walk through that door. Again, it has absolutely positively nothing to do
First
with how
off,
much money you make. It has
first off,
absolutely positively, hold on, it has absolutely positively what social status that you hold. And I understand that you may have sold millions and I'm some little black dot that sit up here running my goddamn mouth. I agree with you. That's absolutely true. But understand this, for what you are peddling out there, the
it's
grifter
harmful.
that you are showing yourself to be, this is harmful content.
Harmful.
Shame on you. Shame on you.
Very harmful. And now, I mean, look, if you really want to talk about high value men, legitimate high value men, you don't even want to be them. You don't. You want to be a successful man in your own right. Because if you really talking about high value, it's the 1% of men in the world that got billions and trillions of dollars, and you don't want to be them. You don't.
Like I said, I'm going to give my definition of what a high value man, and I kind of, I believe that it's probably not even in the 1% category, to be honest with you. I believe that there are a lot of high value men in this world, because for me, it's not about how much money that you make.
I'm talking about money. I'm talking about money. When I say the true high value, I'm talking about like a true high value is only money category. Because it's only a 1% of men who has legitimate all the money in the world, and you don't want to be them. I'm
gonna say this. That's for your interpretation. For me, it's about the content.
Hold on. Let me rephrase
the
it.
content
Let me
of
rephrase
your
it.
character.
Let me rephrase it. The men with the most money in the world is only 1%.
Right.
You don't want to be in that category if you talking about being.
I'll accept that.
A true man to man, because you want to know how they got that money? Is not being honorable.
And that's what I was going to say. It's about the content of character. It's about who you are as a human being that will determine your true value in this world. And I think that that's the one thing that we miss, that people do not like to accept. You can be the slimiest, dirtiest person that's out here doing business and handling things the way that you feel like you need to handle it, and you got billions of dollars in the bank, and you can buy and sell the majority of the world. That does not make you have value. Sorry.
It can't. So my thing is to the dudes is, I know sometimes we down bad. I know, like, you just been you just trying to figure out how to get a woman. You just want to go on your first date. Hell, you just want your dick sucked. Whatever it may be. I know you get down bad. I understand it. But you do not have to look to these dudes to help you get the box. Or to help you on a date. Or to help you understand women. Anytime a guy, it tells you she gotta cook, she gotta clean, what she bring to the table to help you get women, you need to realize, like, nigga, it ain't gonna work. It's not what she bring to the table, and it's not what do you bring to the table. Is do you got your shit together? And I understand people say that's the same thing. What you bring to the table is meaning if you got your shit together. I hate that. I just hate the whole table thing, because if you trying to build an empire, you don't give a fuck about the table. You want to worry about the foundation, baby.
Listen, I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. And you're right. It's pretty much semantics at this point when you put it that way, because that's how you build the foundation, by both people being ready to come to the table So that's why it's like, what do you bring to the table? Because if you're not ready to even pull out the chair, hell, I'm sorry, ladies, but we're going to go there at a later date. But I know women who not even able, I feel like you can't even open up the goddamn same door and be in the fucking room with me because you're so unworthy. So if I feel that way about some women, you better know I feel that way about some men. Don't open my motherfucking door because you can't even begin to be in the same room to breathe the same fucking air that I breathe because you're not ready to pull out the chair, to sit at the table. And that's because of who you are, your personality traits, who you are, what you do, what you believe in, how you feel like you could just get over and hurt people simply because it's going to make you and put you in a better position. That's bullshit. You do not have to get success by standing on somebody else's back. You ain't got to stump somebody else down to get where it is that you want to go. Your success is built in you. That's why my advice is always going to be what you got inside of you that's going to get you where you want to go. Know who you are. Build that shit up. But I got you. I got some more stuff for you. Believe that.
You know, I really strongly believe that these young dudes need to stop peddling to these fresh and fit type of guys.
To these vulnerable men, young men, I'm going to call you young men, to these vulnerable young men who have been lost due to some type of hurt that they have
They looking for that male figure. It's hard to find it now.
It's hard to find.
Because it's so hard to find. I mean, Steve Harvey, one of the oldest guys out in comedy, one of the coldest. He's helping with them trying to, gather these young men. But some of the shit he's saying is like, nigga, you forgot how you got home.
I laugh so hard. I laugh so hard with people trying to say Steve Harvey is a good relationship expert. Ask his first wife.
I mean, look. Oh,
My bad.
Man, look. After you had 3 tries at it, of course your fourth gonna be amazing. I'm just being honest, right? If I get,
and then you realize that you just needed to put in the work with number one. You weren't even willing to put in the work because it's work with the first one.
Like
you treat it would only been one.
If I get 4 chances to take a test, you damn right I'm gonna do better on the third one than I did the first one. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So
I get an amen.
So it's just give or take, right? So it's like these young dudes are literally looking for that figure, and I know it's hard because it's kind of like when you're trying to buy sneakers online. You don't want to. You got the money for it, but you know that you can get it cheaper. So is it good to get it cheaper or just pay the money for them? And that's just how.
Or worry about the fit. Because like when you go in the store, you try it on. But
True.
if you try to buy it online, you're not only worried about the price, and if you can get it cheaper, you also worried about the fit.
Because if you get them to you and they send you a size 10 and they see you a 9, you be like, what the fuck? And you double check everything. And you got an event to coming up the next day, and the shoes are coming in just in time, and they send you a 9, and they ain't gonna let you rechange them out in stores and pick a pair up from the store. You just gotta go buy a whole new pair of shoes and ship them bitches off and get your money back in 3 to 5 business days, and you're gonna be pissed. But it's like it's just like that. it's a lot of smoke and mirrors out there, and it's hard to find some of these cats that's just going to give you like real game. And Kevin Samuels left a lot of his content on YouTube due to his passing.
That's
so
good.
You can start there and then look at all the people that he really associates himself around on YouTube and start watching their content. I know that Kevin Samuels was on Fresh and Fit, but a little bit before he passing, he literally disputed and told people that he doesn't believe in what Fresh and Fit does. He respects them, but he don't believe in their whole frame of work.
Well, I mean, and I think that that's where we should end it, because
no, we're not going to end it right there. We're going to end it with the teaser. So
hold on. But let me say this. I think that's where we should begin to end it. And that's this. You can say what it is that you want to say. And as somebody who's out here putting content, I will always respect your opinion and your ability to say it. But what I'm going to tell you when I know that this is an issue is that you should be careful about what you're putting out there, because you are harming people. You're causing more harm than good. So I agree that you respect the ideal that people say what they say, but I'm also going to dispute the ideal of you putting it out there and to whom you putting it out there to, because these are vulnerable young men. And even if you are an older person, I'm still calling you a young man. And the reason that I'm calling you a young man is because you are not mentally mature enough to understand what it is that you're trying to do or need to do if you're willing to listen to that bullshit. Now go ahead.
You know, as the great Charlamagne the God say is, you have the right to give me your opinion, and I have the right to tell you your opinion ain't shit.
You know my saying, they all like assholes and everybody has one, but nobody believes that their shit stinks.
Here you go.
That says there's no such thing as a high value woman. A woman that's high, a woman gets her value directly from a man that she gets in a relationship with, because all women have value, but not all men have value.
All women don't have the same value.
That is it for this podcast.
Wait, hold on. Let me fall out.
That is it for this podcast. I know Sweet Bee just eye twitching like, let me out. This is definitely a long one. Because me and her have been dying to do this topic. We've been dying to do this topic. So we'll be back next week for the part 2 of this, which is what is a high value woman. And then next week, the week after that, would be part 3 of the conclusion of everything. All right. So sorry for not uploading last week. I had a lot of shit going on in my life.
Life happened.
And I got it figured out because I passed my classes this semester.
So that's done.
So that's the reason why I had a lot of finals. So other than that, God bless. Have fun. Love each other. Love one another. Don't hurt each other. Anything you want to tell them, Mama?
My usual. Live your life. Laugh as much as you can possibly laugh. And love every bit of it.
Until then, much love.
Thank you for listening to Resolve Dispute with your host Black Thor and Sweet Bee. Don't forget to download and follow the podcast so you can be notified when the next episode drops.